bring in South Carolina Congressman Trey Gowdy. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. And 17 Gitmo detainees are going to be released. Do you have any information about them? Has Congress been briefed who they are, where they're going, and what the deal is?
No, ma'am. The answer would be no to all of those questions. I'm not on House Armed Services, and I'm not on House Intel, so it may be that Mac or Devin has been briefed. I doubt it. And if you'll remember correctly, Greta, the last time Congress was supposed to be briefed was the Bergdahl swap, and Mac Thornberry on House Armed Services just released a report that was very critical of this administration for misleading them on those five. So I am very skeptical that we have received any information from this administration.
All right. If the 17, I know what your position is, but I'm going to assume for a second that you were not in favor of releasing the 17. We don't know much about them. But what would you propose instead, that we keep them at Gitmo or move them to the United States? What do you want to do with the 17? And apparently there are 90 more beyond those.
Leave them exactly where they are. Greta, I operate under the assumption that we detain them for a reason. I mean, was it a case of mistaken identity? If it was a case of mistaken identity, then they shouldn't have been detained in the first place this long. So I assume that they were detained for a reason. And I further assume that there's no way the Secretary of Defense can certify that they're not a threat. Look at the folks who have been released in the past. Have they gone back to terror? Have they started bridge clubs? Are they volunteering in after-school programs? I don't think they're doing the latter. I think they've gone back to terror. So these are terrorists that were detained for a reason, and now we're supposed to believe that they've been rehabilitated and we're able to unleash them back on society. Other than just fulfilling a campaign promise that he never should have made, but he did, I don't know why you would do this.
All right, let me switch to 2016. I read over the weekend, in the past couple of days, that you have now endorsed Senator Marco Rubio. Why Senator Marco Rubio, and why now?
Well, Greta, I've known Senator Rubio for 5 years. Senator DeMint introduced us in 2010. The issues that I care the most about: public safety, national security, the responsibility of the executive to faithfully execute the laws. Marco is really good on all of those issues. I think he presents our message in a persuasive way, which is important to me. But I have to add this, Greta, we live in a participatory democracy, and each of us has an obligation to investigate the candidates and the issues that are most important to us. I've known you for 5 years. I would never, ever tell you who I think you should vote for. I would tell you to research the candidates and determine what issues you think are important to you. On the issues important to me, Marco is really good.
All right. Do you fear the criticism that's oftentimes made of President Obama coming into office, that there was a first-term senator with relatively little experience at all, and certainly no executive experience?
Well, Greta, I would say this. He's been in office 7 years now, so other than President Clinton and President Bush, he's the most qualified person on the planet, if you use that metric, to be president. He's had 7 years as president. He's worse now than he was when he started. So it's clearly not about experience in the White House. Yes, Marco is young. He can't do anything about that. I think he's the same age as Senator Cruz. So Obama's not wrong because of his youth. He was wrong because of his policies, and that's been proven by the fact that he's gotten more wrong as he stayed in office.
Congressman, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes, ma'am.